All right, everyone. Final three. Bring chairs up towards that thing so you move back. Because they don't have light.
No, because you can't see them. The jury should be here, then the light is facing.
Okay, you're actually right.
Yeah.
Then the jury should bring
Chairs.
chairs.
Yeah.
Everyone who is on the jury, bring a chair over there. Keep 3 over here for the finalist.
The finalists shouldn't have chairs. They should stand when they speak.
Well, they can stand one at a time and then sit. You know what I mean?
The jury's over there.
If the jury wants to sit
Put
on
that
the
chair right
ground,
there. You only need 3 right there. All right. Sit down. Stand.
I'm good.
All right. If anyone wants to take, which of you 4 wants to take a seat? Bobby, you seem respectable. Have a seat. You've had a long game.
Look at the confessional spot.
the most recent jury.
You kind of did vote him at Final Five as well.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to till he was gonna vote me.
All right. Well, you're on that side, buddy.
Oh.
All right. Now here's Evan's top jury tampering, please. I'd appreciate that very much.
That's not a thing. Don't say that like it's a thing.
Jacob's tried it in previous seasons out of spite.
I know. Sometimes been successful.
Nobody vote for Ben. Nobody. Just screaming that publicly.
That wasn't a speech. They didn't play.
I mean, you are also doing it before during the Final Four challenge.
I mean, tell me one thing he did do.
All right. No, I'm just saying.
Barely.
All right. Stop talking. Now this is how it works. The finalists, one by one, will stand up, give their speech on why they deserve to win. Then they'll sit down one at a time. The jury each will be able to ask questions. You can ask each finalist the same question, a different question, only address 1 or 2, give a little speech. Try to keep it all short. As it is night, we have gone past our expected end time.
No.
So we have 7 of them.
That's never happened.
Takes 4 to win. Depending on the split, could take less. All right. Who wants to go first for their speech?
How long could their speeches be? Like a minute?
I don't have a timer, but
I
sure,
have
keep
a
it
timer.
keep it around a minute or 2.
I will stop them off at a minute 30.
That's fair. All right, who wants to go first though?
Wait, let me set it up.
And also, of course, before I just have to say, I'm proud of all of you for getting here. You've all played good games.
I will
I
raise
appreciate
my
it.
hand when you have 15 seconds left. Okay.
And say when it's it'll beep, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting a whole long time yesterday, this game was not sticking to my guns. You know, I found my small alliance in my tribe over there, and after finding the idol, I wanted to make sure that I didn't need it whenever I was playing throughout this game, and I think I showed that pretty well, because throughout the entire game, I think I got a total of 1 vote from the blue tribe over there. Like, it was all about making social relationships kind of simplify the game. I found my quick alliance pretty on of Jacob, Michael, and Linnea. We rode that as long as we could until that sneaky move to play the idol on Vivi, which I can give credit where credit's due. But from there, I wanted to make sure that I was just getting it 1 round further. I said it in many tribal councils. It was just about getting to that next tribal council, and I did it by pleasing the people I could, which isn't always a respectable game. But then at the Final 5 and Final 4, I finally found my bearing and brought myself to the final tribal council. I think that I deserved to win because I didn't really double cross a lot of people. I think I played the game that I needed to play. It wasn't always a loyal one, but I tried to play where I was due. I found advantages. I got to communities. I made relationships, and I think say that I really never crossed you guys too much throughout this game, and I will stand by that. Thank you.
Okay, minute 28.
That's not respectable.
Hey, you can give the jury stuff later. Who's next, John or Olivia?
I think there's one option.
Am I an option?
It's one of you two. Do we want to spin a wheel for this? Like, seriously?
I don't really think that's necessary. One of us is just pulling stuff off.
Okay, John, your head. Olivia, okay, wait. It's your time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, stop talking, listen. Tell me when you start it. Just say when you start it. And shouldn't you do a countdown timer so
Okay,
it beeps?
fine. 3,
You can speak up loud for
Hey
them.
guys, I don't think it's about who crossed who integrated with who. I think it's about playing a respectable game. Throughout the competition, I've generally remained loyal to the generally to Team Orange. We all had our roles. I think we played with a lot of life, with a lot of fight in us. And then the Turduckings, although we were not as strong, we still remained socially aggressive and came to the end with 2 of us in the finals. Yeah. I think I deserve to be here
Shut up.
as a dark horse. It is my first competition. We're having in the finals, but yeah, I'm prepared to answer all of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's 7.
All right.
Johnny boy.
Let us know when you start. And
3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you take a look at my my contenders right here, you'll notice in both of their speeches, I'm not trying to throw shade, but they mentioned that they didn't betray anyone and they stayed loyal the entire time. And they stayed out of the public's view, which to some extent is true. Your name never came up once, I have to say. And I carried you all the way here.
Dang.
yeah,
I
be
was
aggressive.
the only one between these two who played a legitimate game. I wanted to betray everyone this time around because why not? Los Gatos is over. I killed him. Los Gatos is no more. I just single-handedly took out the alliance I've been working with for almost like 5 years now. And I think what really set this off in me, so many of these moves I made, the raspberry trap, the cranberry trap, orchestrating the elimination of Mary Grace, realizing my biggest move by far was the tremendous blindside on Nick. I've been orchestrating this for days. No one ever thought I had it in me. Everyone thought I was just a coattail rider of my own alliance that I invented. But no, I am that alliance. I am Los Gatos. It's nothing without me.
that.
Hey, stop.
No.
Stop.
After the worst play in Survivor history and has lost himself a
Okay,
final
you're out of
and a
town.
Hey, shut up.
He
It's a
is
jury. Shut the
El
fuck
Jaguar.
up.
I think me and the jury need some time to discuss.
I'm the
No, we just question. Can I question first?
Okay, wow.
I'm out of question.
Can I question first?
Yes, you may.
Sure.
Since okay. Hi, Haley. Hi. Okay. So, Dawn, before the merge, when we were in with Landon, Evan, you, and we voted out Michael, it seemed like I was the only thing keeping us going, and like I could have lost any of those challenges, and who knows what would have happened. I probably would have been gone, because, yeah. What'd you do pre-merge? Because post-merge, everything happened. But pre-merge, it seems like you just followed along.
Well, Bobby, I'm not gonna lie, I resent that. I was one of the key players behind the scenes. That's typically how I play. I try to hide in the subconscious. You know, everyone sees me there, but they don't really realize what I do. I was the one who orchestrated the hit on Mary Jane. Mary Grace, excuse me. Looking like Peter Parker with venom on the
You
line.
better not come at Mary Jane. I swear.
But anyway, I was really, from the beginning, setting up my alliance with Olivia, which we continued very far. I won a few of the challenges. I did my fair share, more than I've done really any other season. And this is not a game I typically play. I'm usually just following these ones, and which he did, which I did to some extent, but I still.
So, thank you for that. But let's say
Shut the fuck up.
one of you or Olivia wins that final challenge. Were you gonna bring me, or were you gonna take some? Was I actually in the final?
Bobby, well, the thing is, after that, I have to be honest, I wasn't expecting you know, Nick and Evan to really, you know, applaud my amazing blindside. But yeah, so I didn't expect them to be this childish about it, though. I have to say, I'm taken aback. From some gentlemen I've known for a very long time, this is emotions are flaring in Kid Survivor. I have to say. So Bobby, I have to say, you were always part of my plan. I always planned on bringing you, but upon this, I knew that you would get the Gato vote. So, what was done had to be done.
So, Sam, what do you feel your big move was?
I didn't have a big move. I think that was like a motif in my game. I wouldn't call this a move, but I think after the revote on the Evan vote, when I said I was sticking to my guns and I would hold that strong, is a way to reinforce what my game was about. It was about like sticking to what I had and getting one vote further. It happened to work out that time, and maybe it didn't further. But yeah, I told them, I was like, I'm a gambling man. I don't need to make flashy moves to get here. I can play a respectable game even though it may not be like a classic Survivor winner game.
Olivia, you played a great game.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Olivia, you played a great game.
Well, I just mean general, everyone. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like you were underrated because I think if it's me in that final chair, I'd be nervous about getting third place.
Sorry.
Cool. Anyway, bye.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
can you stand up and ask them?
Oh, by the way, congratulations.
Okay.
I love you all.
My first question, I want just like a 1 or 2 word answer of what you would do with $100. Whether that be like Mary Jane, or you know, jewelry, or your shoes, or I don't know, a haircut. You know, yeah. So whichever. Let's start with you, Sam.
South Park.
South Park. Okay, mall, yeah. Okay.
Valid.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the TV show.
Oh, me?
Plushies. What was it?
Debts and dinner.
That's
I have to pay back some loans.
Okay. Okay.
I make dinner for my family, so I would get it for groceries.
Okay. Okay. Second question is kind of like a fill in the blank of it's gonna be 2 sentences total. I don't want more than that. I like to keep it brief. First sentence is I believe I deserve the $100 because blank blank blank.
Blank, blank, blank.
It doesn't have to be 3 blanks, but you get it. Hence, you should give me your vote because I've served you in this way in the games.
What do you mean by served you?
Like, how have I helped you in this competition?
How they helped you personally?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
just
what
want to
have they
clarify.
done for me in this competition? Blank blank blank. Yeah. That's my question.
Who goes? You kind of have to.
Sam can go first.
I deserve to win this game because even though I wasn't a threat, I'm still here. There's always someone bigger behind me, and that's why I played a social game to make sure that my alliance was always people bigger than me. And I served you because after the merge, we were in on every single vote together. I never wrote your name down once. It was me, you, and the other 2. Jacob and Michael made sure that we were keep moving. We had her. So
Okay.
it was always beneficial to you.
John, maybe.
Well, I deserve to win because I ran the game to an extent I've really never had before. I had people coming up to me, vying for my favor, making appointments just for a minute of my attention. And I feel like I deserve to win because I truly did run the game. From the shadows, I ran Los Gatos. From the sides, I ran a little alliance between these 2, Bobby with the blind side, which I hate to keep bringing it up, but it really was a central moment. So I deserve. And I served you in this game as well, to be honest, I wanted you in on the ground floor for the Nick betrayal, but you
You voted me out.
yeah, because you voted against us every single time.
I deserve to win this competition because I remain socially aggressive with no immunity. I have played a good game, remaining, I guess, in served you. 'Cause, so.
All right, next person. Who's up? Who wants to go?
I'll go.
All right, Evan. Questions? Whatnot?
Alright. Start with my two friends on the side, then I'll get to the main.
You speak. I never thought I'd say this. Can you speak up a bit?
Oh, I can always speak up, my good man Caleb.
Thank you.
So, Sam,
Yeah.
we didn't have too much interaction.
No.
You voted with me here, you voted against me there. Not to any much contradiction to myself, I thought. Why do you think you deserve my vote?
I think I deserve a vote because I still never really was like a huge threat or like a bad person in terms of like the game. I think I did a good job playing my strengths or like underplaying my strengths, right? I think this game I want to make sure that like I said, there's always a bigger person in front of me. I just had advantages in my pockets that I didn't need. I didn't care about Redemption Island. I was confident in sending you there, even if you did come back. I thought I could still get here. Like I played to the best of my ability because I'm not the biggest like challenge threat. Despite the 2 wins, I think that I was a social player and I stuck to my guns on one side. I didn't want to flip around. I wanted to make sure that if I chose 4 or 5 people, that I stuck to those 4 or 5 people. And a loyal game, even though I did vote against the people despite giving my word. I will admit that. On most of the loyal games, what I tried to pride myself by. So yeah.
I would have suggested playing a little bit more to those strengths and not tossing away idols in fruitless ways, but I am a different player, alas. Olivia, you voted me out. Why was I the chance of my vote for you?
I don't know why you would, to be honest.
That's not very
I know. I think you should vote for me because we were on the same tribe. We vibed. We laughed as a group. And you shouldn't vote for John. I think it's a process of elimination coming down the line, truly, because John. No. And then Sam, he truly gave up around the puzzle challenge. He truly gave up.
Scoreboard.
True.
Scoreboard.
Yeah. However, I never did.
John boy. I didn't think we'd ever be sitting here. I didn't think it'd get to this day. Not only did you betray Los Gatos and tear it apart as El Jaguar in the most... I told myself to do this. In the most cruel and heartless move. But you also tore away years of friendship, John. How many times did we hook you up at the Kinoba? Did we say, here are some chips in queso, John, when you can't get them? How many times then were we like, oh, here's a Mike's Hard in the most trying of times? Yet alas, you tossed it out the window. And for what, John? For what? Because you know you have no votes coming your way. You have no chance to speak.
That's tough.
Chips and
I love how that wasn't even a question. It was just like a statement. It was
You're allowed to give speeches, I said.
A Braitman.
All right, Jacob, are you up next?
Yes.
No votes for John.
Alright, I think I have a question for all you guys.
Yeah.
Alright, so first, Sam, trusted member, My Alliance. You said one of the big things about your game is that you weren't a threat. Do you think, looking back on it, that it's a good thing that you weren't a threat, like sitting in the end, if you tried to eliminate threats early?
Yeah.
Tell me what your thoughts.
I don't think that I think it's just a matter of playing to my social strengths. Like I said, my goal was to put someone bigger in front of me at all times. In the last vote, Bobby has the other votes, so we voted him out. But the vote before that, Nick, was the obvious target, so we got rid of him. From most votes going back, there's always someone bigger, someone larger blocking my, like I was working the shadow of it. Even if like you can argue that being in the shadow isn't necessarily a good thing, I still had advantages at my fingertips, even though they weren't used in the most successful ways. I showed that I didn't need them because like I could have played an idol on like Michael and Nepo, or I could have played idols in certain places to cover my bases, but I showed that I can still get here despite hardly needing any outside force. I just need myself and my mouth, and I can talk my way into and out of this way. No.
I'm sorry, but you said I just need myself in my mouth, and that just made me laugh.
Maybe me.
I can suck dick well.
Bravo!
Why did you say that in your speech?
I don't think that's the Christian answer Jacob wanted.
Play to my social strengths without ever like needing to put myself out there. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I can probably say that I'm like a loyal person. I stuck to my guns. I may have crossed a back or two, but putting someone in front of me meant that there was a target there, and that I could get here to play my case. That was always the goal, getting here.
Okay. All right. One follow-up question. Just yes or no answer. No
Yes.
elaboration. If
Yes.
you hadn't won the final 2 immunities, do you think you'd be sitting?
No.
All right, John. Biggest move, or besides the Nick blindside was pretty big, but another really big move is when you saved Olivia with your idol. Was that your idea or Nick's idea?
That was completely my idea.
Cap.
I had my heart set.
Cap.
I had my heart set. I had my heart set.
Nick, you literally
before
told
we
me that
cast
it was
the
his
vote.
idea.
Listen to my third question.
I'm not gonna disclose how Nick came to that information because, blindside aside, I still do have my respect for the man, even if it's not reciprocated. But still, that entire moment was highly orchestrated for me. From wearing it over my shirt, I knew for a fact that everyone thought I would be playing it for myself because, you know, in the scope of everyone else, I am just like a selfish little shit. And I mean, excuse my French, but in truth, I always excel when I throw it all away. Those who are willing to throw it all away are those who end up receiving the most in the end. And I feel like playing that idol for Olivia, knowing that she was easily the least in with your group, seeing as she hesitated on the Evan vote out, I realized that I already had my foot in the door there. You know, I knew like her being an easy flip was kind of guaranteed. So that idol play was not only to you know, keep her around for another challenge, not just to ensure my safety, but also to get her on my side for the Nick vote out, who she was also tight with due to us both being on the Orange tribe, the Turduckins.
You weren't on the orange.
The Turducken vote was.
All right. Last question, Olivia. Why did you flip on the Evan vote? Why did you choose to do that?
I was
Is
going
your
to ask that.
question? I flipped on the Evan vote because going forward, these three have always wanted a fourth. However, to bring me to the finals was to know that they could beat me. I voted Evan out because Sam and Linnea we could have come together as an alliance and voted you guys out. That's why I voted out Evan. As well, John brought up this huge moment, this huge move to vote out Nick yesterday around midday after lunch. It was always going to be me and him in the final. We didn't count on Sam or Bobby, but
I will say I did count on Bobby.
Really?
Bobby was always part of the plan.
Okay, that was all about it. I'm silent.
And then Sam had to win that final challenge.
It was a matter of really alliances and trying to move forward, not as a threat, but socially as a threat. Not
Just saying. Okay.
I'm sorry,
You both wrote down my name.
the whispering in ears to convince people is getting me.
Okay.
You still
and then
wrote down my
just
name the
answer
same
this
amount
one
of
briefly,
time,
because I don't
so-
wanna, I've already taken up a lot of time. What was your biggest move?
Basically,
Shh.
cancel the town.
my biggest move. It was underlying, I think, for so many It was between voting Evan out and potentially having the triple guys, I don't know what to call you guys, the mafia, completely turn against me. Okay, Trevor.
We don't
and
like being
or
called
losing
that.
hope at the end. And because Sam had immunity, I turned both of them against Bobby. They were both originally going to be voting for me. But I was able to sway them because Bobby had informed me earlier about his speech. He's also a well-established figure within the competition. So yeah, those are my two moves.
Okay.
All right, Michael.
Alright guys, congrats on all being here. You all played a pretty good game, but I do have some questions. We'll start with you, Sam. Why in the world did you play an idol like you did?
Well, obviously, having gotten no votes through the entire season, I didn't need it, right? But in that moment, when they suddenly read our minds for the Olympia vote, I think Linnea thought of that plan like 5 minutes before we voted. And for them to just read that off our minds and play the idol, it was impressive, 1. But 2, it scared the shit out of me. And so like in this game, even though that I wasn't a huge threat to anyone in the first place, if they can just pull that out of their ass, what stops me from getting the 4 votes that they had and then going home, right? I want to make sure that if I have an idol, I want to secure the fact that I can get 1 round further. I want to use it and make sure that I can get here, right? It was about getting 1 round further, and so using the idol, I covered my bases, even though unfortunately I think one of my closest allies had to go home in that round. It made sure that I kept moving.
Okay. You said you'd go like round by round to
Yeah.
get here. So would you say that, like you said earlier, you're like, I didn't really have a biggest move.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important to have big moves in the game, and do you think you can move forward without them?
I mean, I think flashy moves are resume pieces. If you want to say, if like for his case, John's case, they say, oh, I did the whole Nick thing. Well, it's cool on paper, but like there's a lot of people need to vote for Nick to make sure he goes home, right? So even though I was never in on one big move or like masterminded a huge move, I was in on every single like move that got me here, right? Sending Evan home, I stuck to my guns in that vote. Sending Nick home, even though I wasn't the one who orchestrated it, I definitely helped pull the trigger to make sure that he went home and I got here. Like, or sending Bobby home. You need 2 people, or 3 people to do that, even though it was someone's idea. I still made sure that, okay, yeah, Bobby has a lot of votes in the jury. That's a good point. All right, I'm gonna help myself, help others, I guess. Help myself get here, get 1 move further, and vote that person out.
Okay. We'll go next to Olivia. I just had a question.
Can you hurry this up a little bit? I'm freezing.
It's supposed to be.
I didn't expect it to be this
Yeah,
long.
30 seconds or shorter answer.
Would you say, you talked about loyalty earlier. How important is loyalty in Survivor?
I think loyalty, it's very important in Survivor. You always need to know who your friends are, who you're against. I think it was very clear who I was with. However, I had to flip to like kind of further myself in the competition. It wasn't anything personal. I really enjoyed the tribes throughout the game. Also, to piggyback on the last question with Sam, I do think it is important to have big moves, not only to further yourself in the competition, but to establish yourself in the game. You can't only play defensively. You can't only rely on immunity idols with challenges. It's also a social game.
Lastly, John, a lot of talk has been going on not giving you any votes.
It's true.
Okay. One thing though. If Bobby had won that immunity challenge, would you you say that you'd still be here?
Yes. Certainly,
Yeah.
100%. Bobby,
Yes.
me and Bobby were tight this entire game. And the only reason I felt like I had to get rid of him is because I knew he would have gotten their vote. And if I could just, for a second here, it was a key factor in this game that I kind of was behind many of the central moves. Like I ran this game. I was responsible for, of course, flushing his idol over here. With my perfect raspberry trap. I got Nick to play his idol for me, while also planning his defeat, his demise. And I think that if Bobby did get to the end, it would be a. I'm not gonna lie, I did want to go head to head with Bobby, but I just felt like between him and Olivia was definitely the more desirable opponent if I wanted to secure this $100.
That's fair.
And I'm gonna be straight with you. That's what I played for. I didn't try to take emotion into it. I know Nick and Evan, on a personal note, they've done very much for me in my personal life. They've helped me a lot. But I try to leave emotions out of the game, and I just wanted to break some hearts. And I think that's what I did. And their aggression lets me know I did my job right. So,
Thank you.
All right, Campbell, do you have a jury questions, votes, anything to add?
No, I'll save some time.
All right, then Nick, you are the final one to go. Ask your questions, say your piece, then we can get this over with.
My questions are fast. Alright, so, Olivia, what do you feel like your biggest play was? And do you feel like you had any chance of you staying in?
What was the last part?
Like, did you, like, when you were almost voted out, how did you feel like? Did you have any play over you staying in, or is that all luck?
I think I definitely appealed to you both, only because I wasn't as strong in challenges. I definitely downplayed my strengths. I've been on a basketball team. I know how to throw a basket. I was trying to miss a little bit.
Shut up.
Got you out to flush out the idols. The balance, I can balance. It's more. I definitely forgot the question, but yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Sam.
Yes.
So, how did you? That was just very. I'm not gonna lie. When you were in the final five, I was like, wow. If Sam loses this challenge, he's out. Probably
Yeah.
the same with the final four.
Yeah.
But that was very impressive when you were like, we were on both. How were you after everyone else said you were defeated? You were in a mindset that wow, I'm really against the wall. How did you make such an epic, survivor-winning play in order to win those challenges?
Yeah, I like to believe that it's almost like it's a facade that I put up. The defeat was like a character that I was trying to play a little bit. Sitting down there playing my puzzle and being like, oh, I'd go to everyone and be like, oh, I have no one, I have no one to talk to, really, I need someone, I vote, and then I'd still vote against you guys. Like, I think I went to Evan at least 3 times and said, like, I have no one in this game, like, I need to vote, and then I would vote the other way. It's just like, if I can play up my weakness, and then win, I mean, like, I won these challenges because even though I didn't necessarily know that I needed to, I did it because it got me here, right? The defeated persona was like one that I knew would lead me to, or lead them to thinking that I was one that they could beat in the end, even if they can or they can't. It's one that I put up on purpose. That I solved the puzzle as far as I'm concerned. Like, got second place in the challenge, but like, I wanted to make sure that they viewed me as like as weaker than them, because if they did that, then they would say, oh yeah, I can beat him in the end. I can talk about a better case than he can. But then I went 2 challenges, even though when I needed them to get myself here and to further my game. 1 travel at a time.
Alright, I respect the back-to-back things. John, so you have told, I don't remember if it was Michael or Jacob, but one of them, that you orchestrated the Olivia vote. But it is an undeniable fact that I came up to you and said, they're voting for Olivia,
Actually,
which forced you into your vote, so
hold on.
that clearly was not your
I have
move.
an objection to this.
So, other than voting for me, which was already on top of 1, 2, 3 votes for me that had me out, it seems like you haven't actually done anything. So what actually have you done?
What have I actually done? Well, I don't know how you can say that. I didn't do anything in the vote against you because I got you to play your idol. Other than that, well, I got us to vote out Mary Grace, who would have been a late game.
Mary Jane.
Yeah, Mary Jane. I got rid of Matthew in day 1, who was another major late game threat.
These are both moves I've made that he was just kind of.
He did say Mary Grace's name as soon as you lost the
Let's
first
keep the
round.
record straight here. Let's try not to keep
He
going with
he
that.
pointed at me.
But to be honest, I knew. I keep saying it, and the reason is clear. When I wear a fucking idol over my neck, I'm not just wearing it there for no reason. Everything I do, there's a strategy to. I'm not just playing.
But the Olivia move was not your.
Yes,
your
it was.
play.
Yes, it was.
I came back to John. I knew
Okay,
there was
no.
I came back to John and I said,
Okay,
it's
as
going
as
to
You know
Olivia.
what? It's
This
up
is
in the
enough
air.
fighting.
It's
Okay,
up
check
in the air.
this.
It's over the air. It's over
Up in
the air.
I can say the
But
truth,
I would
but
like to say,
Liberal-
Said he could say the truth.
if everyone agrees to, I
No.
don't think that's
After
good.
the votes are read.
After the votes, I will say it.
It's
Are you
against
sure?
John. I'm sure.
with the truth,
I'm sure.
I
Go ahead.
orchestrated it.
From what I saw, it was John who had the confessional at the voting to decide it. It's him who found the idol and decided to play it for her. You would have wanted to keep it to keep both of them safe for future.
Can we set the record straight?
No.
I'll expose myself.
Unless you look
No,
through
no.
the urn, there would be no fact.
I looked
Unless
through-
you are a cheater, there is no fact that John is the one who had that already orchestrated.
Bro, John the jury. Caleb is also lying.
Bro, why do you keep?
So did you look through to my urn? That's my question for
It may or
you.
may not have happened. I'll play
So
it
Nick
out.
cheated to try to keep a move.
John did not make that decision.
I'm upset at Nick.
John did not make that decision.
And now,
He cheated on my game.
I know you're talking.
I would like
Bro,
to
that's
say
hypocritical.
that Nick did tell me that it was John's play.
But I was just trying not to say I looked through the urn. But it was,
You
it
looked
was on
through.
John.
You looked through
I
my
told
urn.
John
I think
that,
we should all vote now.
just so we know.
I'm disappointed.
I'm voting.
No.